Now we're going to talk about the big comments from Matt Reeves' interview this past week, and confirmed a lot of things about the Batman 2. Three big quotes were, first one being, so what was important to me was to find a way to take these pop icons, these mythic characters that everyone knows, and translate it so that Gotham feels like a place in our world. Basically, throughout, he's saying that, he doesn't want to dip into the fantastical fully, that he wants to keep this kind of a grounded universe. And I think, he even says there's a fun way to think about how we could take these characters that might push over into a bit of the fantastical and find a way to make sense of that. And then on the actual plot details for Batman 2, he says it's going to dig into the epic story about deeper corruption, and it goes into places he couldn't even anticipate in the first one. So it definitely does feel like we're maybe moving towards, I think we discussed it, like a Court of Owls kind of thing, which is incredibly grounded. But I do think it, like, yes, maybe there are Batman fans who are tired of seeing like a grounded Batman. I think it's the perfect direction for this Batman to go into. And I don't think it limits his rogue gallery that much. Like, no. I think there's a lot of villains you can pull from that are pretty grounded. You know?
Yeah. I think the idea that they were gonna go into having more of the fantastical characters in this show, just like I try to hear those people that say like, oh, but they could have a Clayface, and like,
right.
Maybe if you did it kind of close to the way that they did it in that Cape Crusader show that just came out. But the idea of like, maybe they'll have Man-Bat, or maybe they'll have like, I don't know, like a true Mr. Freeze, or God, who else? Like Killer Croc. Like the idea that they would go into this more fantastical side of things, I just like, I look at it and I'm like,
yeah.
Did you see the same movie that I saw? Like, I feel like this is just like wishful thinking, like that, because I've heard comments from people who are like, why can't we get a Batman who is like more comic accurate? And I'm like, well, first of all, you got nothing but the fantastical elements of Batman for years. And it wasn't until the Christopher Nolan movies that we started to get our first glimpse of a grounded Batman. Secondly, the origins of Batman, he was just fighting criminals. He was in Detective Comics just beating up criminals. And it wasn't until later on that we introduced more of like villains, you know, like costumed villains and all that.
The Joker was pretty early on though, wasn't he?
I'm sure he was, but like it was a noir, it wasn't like crime. And so I just thought like it's just weird that like we're having that conversation. I'm glad we're getting it cleared up, and I'm glad that the idea is like, well, there is a way to like take the fantastical and kind of have it make sense. I agree. Like we've talked about how Mr. Freeze is a very plausible character, that you just have him have a sort of medical condition where he has to stay at a certain temperature, or you know,
and we've seen it in like Bane and The Dark Knight Rises.
Sure.
Like he was incredibly like way more grounded than he ever was in the comics or the animated stuff. And I think you can do twists on characters like that. Like I kind of put together a list of like a bunch of villains that like I think you could still do. So you still like, and ones we haven't seen yet in the universe. So yeah, Scarecrow, Two-Face, classic Clayface, Harley Quinn, Black Mask, Calendar Man, Deadshot, Firefly, Hugo Strange, Mad Hatter, Phantasm, Hush. Like you have so many cool ass villains for Batman to use that can serve Matt Reeves' universe so perfectly. Yeah, that's what I said Firefly.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, all good. But yeah, I think like those kind of like, you know, kind of fantastical villains like Bane or kind of like Firefly could be really cool to see if you like scaled them back a little bit to a grounded roots, you know. And
did you say Poison Ivy?
I did not. But I didn't think I don't know. Like she's got like plant powers, you know. Like how do you ground that?
Like eco-terrorism, poisons. You know, like you don't have to do the whole like actual plant powers.
Sure.
You're not gonna see like a Mr. Freeze freezing people with a freeze gun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So then at that point there's only like a few villains at most that you just can't do for Batman.
Yeah, you can't do Man-Bat.
You can't do Man-Bat.
Cannot do it.
Yeah, and I think even Matt Reeves was like, what was that ghost one that he
Gentleman
mentioned?
Ghost.
Yeah, he's like, we can't do Gentleman Ghost.
But I am curious why he brought that one up. Maybe it's
because I've never even heard of that one.
Well, maybe it's because he was in the Cape Crusader show that Matt Reeves was a part of.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
It's got to be it.
But you could do it, and
but it's a ghost. He's not going to put ghosts.
Hold on. Considering the idea that like the corruption goes deeper into places he couldn't even anticipate in the first one. To a lot of people, that screams Court of Owls.
For sure.
But I do think that there is a potential way, like, I'm not saying that Gentleman Ghost as an actual ghost, no. But if you were to portray him as like somebody who's kind of pretending to be a ghost of some kind, like it's the way that his character is that there was a rich asshole back in the day who felt that something happened, and he was like one of the main founding fathers of Gotham, and he felt that either it was with like democracy or something, but he felt that like his money was going towards like the masses, and it wasn't something that he could just hold on to because he was of like the wealthy, like rich class. And so instead of stealing from rich people, this ghost is now just stealing from poor people, and stealing money from and I do think that there could be a way that like a great descendant of this guy could like come around and be like, the Waynes were a part of this, were connected with my family too. And like, there's still some more sort of like money or like something going on. I'm saying
sure.
It would.
I don't think he can be a main villain for a movie for Matt Reeves, but I see what you're saying. Like even the ghost like that, like you can write him to where, it's grounded and he's not an actual ghost. So
right. People are just like, oh my God, it's like a fucking ghost. Right. Maybe not with that dialogue, but yeah. But it's why I was like, no, Poison Ivy can't work. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
But I do think that almost every Batman villain can be grounded. And
just gotta put a little spin on it. Yeah.
In terms of like the epics, like the story. But by the way, did you read about what this Batman like universe is called officially? Oh
yeah, it's like the crime saga or something.
The Batman epic crime saga.
Yeah. So from what I hear, it's not like that's not what they want people to call it, but like internally that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, but now we're all gonna call it the Batman crime. What did you call it? The
epic crime saga.
Epic crime saga. So maybe that's another hint that they like are leaning into like what Penguin's leaning into, that it's like maybe more of a mob centered like
might
villains.
Be.
I don't know.
The first thing that like happens is like that I think about is Court of Owls, but I'm like, it seems so obvious that I'm wondering if it's like maybe it's something like Hush, where it's something where it's like his best friend. Or, and then like they also like the Elliots were also a big part of the Gotham City, like creating Gotham City, or were in a big part with the Waynes. So I don't know, like it could be Hush, it could be Ra's al Ghul, it could be, I don't know.
I do think Court of Owls is a little early like for this Batman too. You know, like from what I hear, it's supposed to be like, you know, like later on when he like has a really good feel for Gotham, and like then it's like a huge blindside when like all this corruption is like happening in different places.
Yeah.
Whereas like he's in year 2 right now, so he doesn't have like an insanely good feel for like how everything should be, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe he does, but I don't think you can like be exact, right, and know everything. So
yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't mind maybe that being saved for a third movie. But yeah, I could still go with it now. I'm sure Matt Reeves is a great. I mean, I know he's a great writer, so I know he can spin it to where it works. So
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is bad news. Will be heard from him at all. I think it's actually good news. So,
and I think if you do Court of Owls, you either have to do it this movie or you have to do it the last, like, or you either do it this movie, or if you're saving it for a third movie, then you're gonna have to make Joker like a big part of the second movie. I can't. You could.
He did set up Joker. I think he does want to do Joker at some point.
Like I find it would. I feel like it'd be kind of hard to do Joker and the Court of Owls, but I could see it. I wouldn't mind. Like it might be a lot.
I wouldn't mind you say like him saving Joker till the third movie. That would actually be really cool. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't even like that Joker, but we don't even. I like it.
I like the deleted scene a lot.
I like that deleted scene a lot for sure. I'm glad it wasn't in the movie, but I still think it's great.
Yeah.
So, I
would have taken out the whole Joker sequence in the movie, to be honest.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite part of the movie, funny enough.
You just don't need it.
You don't need it. But he clearly, in my mind, that means he clearly wants to set up a Joker.
Yeah.
You know? So, and like he was really, from what I hear, like trying to find a way to include that in the movie, and he just kind of couldn't. So, yeah, I think we've called it. Next movie's Court of Owls, and then third movie's gonna be Joker. I think,
unless they do Joker for the second movie.
Yeah, but you have to. But then, like, where's the corruption coming in?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like it's still similar. Like the Riddler was definitely way more tied together in terms of the story, but there were still two stories going on. There was the corruption with the Carmine Falcone, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was the stuff going on with Riddler. So there still were two stories. But like Riddler was
it was still all tied together because Riddler was like trying to bring that to light.
I know. I'm saying like
I feel you. Yeah. It can work. But it takes a lot, I'm sure, to write that together. So and from what I hear, he's still not done with the script. So but it does begin filming early next year from what I hear. So hopefully we will get this by its release date, which is 2026. So I think we're on track still. I think we're good.